Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to MVC Week 1. We got Rocket League tonight, Valpo versus Indiana State University. I'm Henry, Speedy Kill Ninja.
And I'm CQ9, and we wanted to make sure we gave you guys a little bit of an update real quick of why we're starting a little late. Turns out Rocket League actually has a game update on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Central, so we're going to have to wait a little bit.
Patch just dropped, so everyone needs to update on both teams. So we will be back with the start of the game, hopefully in just a few minutes. But yeah. All right, and we are finally back. If you're just joining us now, unfortunately, Rocket League decided to drop an update right at when the game was supposed to start. So delayed our start time a bit, but we're hopping right into this one. We got Valpo in blue versus Indiana State University in orange.
Yep, and we're hopping right back into the Valparaiso offense here. Oblivix going up for the aerial attack, and in goes the goal. Very early score with Oblivix. Hey, you know, we got back with an update, and looks like it didn't diminish their play at all.
Yeah, that'd be crazy if they had like a balance change.
That would be insane, but luckily it doesn't seem like they changed too much because they're on their A game, it looks like, with that early goal. Valpo kicking off the offense immediately again. Huge. And scoring another goal right off kickoff.
Now, I feel like this is great for, like, you can tell they're just mentally locked in. The fact that you have to go through warming up, you know, playing these scrims and everything, they get here, you know, an hour before the match. And then they just sit there for 20 minutes, like, waiting for an update to happen. And to be able to come in after, like, cold, sitting there, doing nothing, kind of just, like, anticipating the start of the game, being able to just come out hot is incredible.
Yeah. I don't know about sitting there doing nothing, because I remember heading out there and looking and seeing them all in the training range, just keeping themselves warm. It was pulling off some crazy stuff and trying to keep this offense up with that practice. This ball has barely left the Indiana Tech side of the court, with Valparaiso's offense being such good pressure here. Even down a player with the demolition, Oblivix finds a goal.
Wow. And, you know, coming back with the roster today, we got Master Seb, Oblivix, and Jank. This is the same roster that won a championship last spring in the NECC, and had a really strong showing in the Missouri Valley Conference as well. So this team is, you know, looking to get some hardware this year, and looking to perform really well. And they have been dominant so far, up 4-0 with less than a minute. So they are...
You can't ask for much better standing than this. Coming back from an update right into this is looking great for Valpo as a good kickoff to the season. As you were saying, this is the lineup that had brought home a trophy previously. It's really looking like they won another one.
Yep, and I mean, we had Oblivix and Jank have been here as long as I've been here, so they've been here forever in my mind. And Master Seb took a semester off, but is back. And has been leading this team to, you know, so far a great season because they're undefeated. It's actually their first game. I don't know where I was going with that.
I mean, being 0-0, it is undefeated. There's no losses in there.
And they actually do have another game tonight at 7 p.m. And what's nice about this little delayed start is we will probably end this set and just be able to head straight into the next one. So
yeah, so we can have some back-to-back Rocket League action. See if they can keep this momentum from the start of this game up just like that, and see if they can continue it all the way through the night.
Yeah, they are performing really, really well, and Indiana State, I mean, I don't know if they need to switch up the strategy, what needs to change here. As far as this game one in this best of 5 series, it's looking pretty tough for Indiana State to come back, but they're definitely going to need to talk it over, find some things to change. But it's crazy because we're not even halfway through the first game.
Yeah. From what I can tell, I mean, of course, there's a reason they're out there and I'm in here, of course. But from what I can tell, it seems like Indiana Tech just almost needs to tighten up the rotation. A lot of these are slipping through the gaps in the rotations here. And we're finding these what look like easy shots, but of course they're not. It's that we're finding these gaps in the rotation to slip the shots through into the goal. So I think what really needs to change is their defense needs to get tightened up a little bit. Lessen those gaps, allow themselves the option to get on the offensive, because this ball has barely been in Valpo's half, as we see Jank with a nice clear, just keeping that statement true.
Yeah, and this is a team that really likes to play aggressive offense, have a lot of shots. The thing that's been different about this game is almost every shot they've had has gone in. So, you know, typically their like goal to shot ratio is about 1-4, about 20 to 30%, and they've been around 80%, 90% this game. I don't think I've seen a shot missed yet. So I think it's a matter of Indiana State. You know, they got to lock in on defense, make these saves that are savable. And for Valpo, just keep the pressure on. I mean, just keep playing aggressive, keep the pedal to the metal.
I mean, absolutely, yeah. I mean, you were saying about our shot to goal rate. I mean, that's why we like to see this aggressive style because, well, you miss all the shots you don't take, but Master Seb not missing that one, getting a nice goal there, and the ratio there that you were saying, the more shots you take, the more you're gonna hit.
Yeah.
Even if you're only hitting a quarter of them, if you just simply make more shots, you'll make more goals. As we can see from the Valpo side here, going up 7-0 at this kickoff with only 2 minutes left on the clock, looking really solid in Valpo's favor here.
Yeah. I mean, this kind of feel like we've just had so much like goal and replay time versus like in-game time. So this game actually feels like it's taking much longer than 5 minutes. It's almost like a highlight reel montage, but they're killing it right now. But for Indiana State here, they have been able to slow it down a little bit. We'll see what they're able to adjust in Game 2, Game 3, and throughout this best-of-5 series. But yeah, I believe this is also a new Rocket League team to the MVC. I don't remember them having a team last year. So, maybe it can be a younger, inexperienced roster. And this is also their first game of not only this semester, but the entire academic year as well. So another thing to note, but we do have a Blivix going for a flip reset. Does unfortunately fail on that one. And Valpo just retaining possession of this ball. This is why I like them being on offense because it's so hard to
it can be
score
so hard to dislodge
if you're on defense.
It can be so hard to dislodge this offense. Valpo being so experienced and keeping the pressure on. And again, even if they're not scoring the goals, all that matters is this clock ticking down with 1 minute left. I mean, they're 7-0 right now. Indiana Tech's going to have to make some massive moves to be able to come back here. And the more this clock dwindles away, the better the standings Valpo's sitting in to take this game 1. We see Jenk up here with the shot going above middle, though. Not quite able to solidify, but hey, keeping this pressure on, just the more time this ball stays out of the net on either side only benefits Valpo. 30 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, and Indiana State, to their credit, the second half of this game have really been able to slow down Valpo on offense. They've been able to get some clears as they are on offense right now, and have been doing better as this game's gone on. Now, granted, it is 7-0, but, this is can give them some, confidence and motivation going to the next one. Is Valpo hasn't scored a goal in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah,
so.
That's exactly what I was going to...
Well,
commentators curse.
Them right now.
Hey, commentators curse. I'd rather have it work for us than against us. But to your point, yeah, I mean, sure, the scoreboard looked 7-0, but that scoreboard hadn't changed for a solid about 2 minutes or so.
Yeah, they were making some saves.
They had absolutely changed something up, tightened up their rotations there, and kept the defense up. So the scoreboard might not show it, but that was a nice adjustment from them for sure.
Yep. So Valpo able to take game 1 here. We do have Oblivix as the MVP. As we do take a look at the stats, we got 600 plus across the board. We had a hat trick from Master Seb and from Jank, which is crazy because they actually weren't the points leaders. Oblivix with 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 shots. But phenomenal starting game for Valpo. And we will take a quick peek at the Rocket League roster, put some faces to some names. So we got Oblivix leading the way for the team, Jank and Master Seb. So, I mean, this core roster and these people have been around for a while, and you can tell with the experience that they built up.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see the actual just synergy that they had, just being able to rotate, keep that rotation up. Because, I mean, we were talking about the defense rotation on Indiana State. That has to be said just the same for the offense rotation, keeping that pressure up and finding those gaps in there just means that their rotation was just even that much tighter. So it was really impressive to show. They're showing their experience here.
Yeah, but we are going to head to a short break before we are back with game 2. So stick around. We'll be just back in a minute. And we are back with Game 2 of Valpo versus Indiana State University here, off of a great 8-0 winning Game 1. We'll see what Valpo is able to do and how Indiana State's able to respond to that Game 1.
Absolutely. I mean, going off of the momentum towards the end of the last game, Valpo might have been having such a high scoring, but I'm expecting to see some real nice adaptation there and actually almost getting a goal back on them. See, with that second half of the game, we had seen Indiana Tech really tighten up their rotations and keeping the ball out of their own goal really well, and we almost saw that adaptation go all the way around to seeing Valpo go down 1, but able to get that nice save. I'm expecting to see a much more balanced game this second round.
Yeah, it seems like they are much more settled in. I mean, at this point in the first game, there were 3-4 goals to Valpo. And after that happens, it's tough to come back. But Master Seb, great to be able to keep this momentum for Valpo.
The incredible follow-up off of Jank here, getting that bounce with some incredible saves, but Master Seb there and ready, able to get 1 goal up. And, again, this is looking a lot closer, but we'll see how Valpo can make the adaptations here. Kickoff does seem to go in their favor, but Indiana Tech able to get past the defenses here a little bit.
Indiana State. But, yeah.
That was Overwatch. Don't worry about it. Anyway. But getting the nice clear here, Indiana State. Keeping the offense back on Valpo's side. Again, a little bit more of a balanced match here. Getting the demo on Oblivex here. Valpo going to be down 1 player.
Yeah, we're 3:30 into this one. Valpo only up 1 here. So this is definitely not a comfortable lead. You've seen how fast these shots, these goals can kind of just be peppered onto a team. But Oblivex, and you see Indiana State starting to make these saves and cleaning up a bit. And Valpo, missing some of these shots that they were making in Game 1.
Oblivex not missing that one with some nice boops attempt, too. See Cenk going for that boop attempt and Oblivex being right there and ready with the opponents being off-center with that rotation.
I like how you use the terminology boop, like Overwatch.
Hey,
Rocket
man,
League, we call them bumps.
Yeah, some things can be universal here, but another thing that's universal that I want to see is a Valparaiso W. Almost finding another goal here, with Oblivex actually managing to sneak it through with a bump here, with a bump assist.
Yeah, these goals have been harder to come by. Indiana State's really been tighten up their defense, but I mean Valpo is still well in control of this series and of this game right now, up 3-0, and still waiting for this response for Indiana State. We've seen their defense start to tighten up, play a little bit better. Other than that unfortunate mistake there, and Jank is able to capitalize on it. But I want to see what they can do on offense.
This nice little redirection here actually made Indiana State miss that defense a little bit. They look to be in a good spot to block the first shot, but Jank able to get the redirection.
Yep.
So we'll see how this kickoff goes. Again, looking to be in Valpo's favor as Jank is up for the aerial shot, trying to pass to Master Seb, but not quite able to continue it. But keeping this pressure on, going on the wall, but no boost to keep it up.
And Valpo able to get another one.
Able to dislodge that defense. It looked like there was another bump attempt just to dislodge the rotations here, get in the way, slow them down a little bit. And I like to see it because a lot of times in Rocket League, you seem to think that, like, oh, you have to get the shots on the outside, you have to be all defense and everything. But it's nice to see that sometimes you can just simply move them, and it's nice to see. Sometimes you don't need to overcomplicate it.
Yeah, I know one thing they're really working on is this team, Coach Jeff and Coach Thomas, they really hound on the fundamentals with team. And something that they're really focusing on today is passing, that teamwork, not playing solo or as, 3 separate parts but one unit. And they have definitely accomplished that task so far. Have seen a lot of great team play, whether it's, bumping one of the enemies away so you can allow your teammate to score, passing the ball around, mixing up the defense, but great ball movement.
Great shot off of there. Able to dislodge the dribble attempt, actually. You can see them trying to set up a nice dribble to get some control, and Master Seb having absolutely none of that. dislodging that and getting a goal off of it. Valpo coming into favor here, looking in a great sitting, very similar to last game, but at a much slower pace.
It seemed a little more spread out. So they won game 1 8-0. They're up 6-0 now. They are definitely still on pace for that because they had that 3 minute to 30-second period with no goals. And Indiana State is on the board. Get some friends, scores the first goal. Yeah, he's able to. We'll see what happens there. Looks like Valpo hit that in the wrong direction. Unfortunately, will go into their goal. So Indiana State is able to find their first goal of the series here. So,
I mean, that's all right,
yeah.
showing that we're not infallible, but hey, we can come back from this. That's the main thing that I want to see now. Like, sure, we've seen them be quite dominant on the offense, but now that it's been shaken up a little bit, let's see if they can recover, keep it together, and just keep it going. We're not infallible, we're not perfect, but almost able to get another goal in retaliation. Say, hey, we aren't quite done yet.
Yeah, it is great to see Indiana State kind of come together, and they have been improving a lot. But Master Seb is really, trying to close the door on this game and on this series and kind of make a statement here with this goal and say, yep, we might have messed up, slipped up there, and gave you guys an opportunity, but it's not going to happen again. So
absolutely, yeah. But the opportunity was made with the passes there that you said we were focusing on, and a great usage of that coming in already. So really great to see that the practice is coming out, that we still have things that we can improve on and that are being put into practice here, getting ready, gearing up for the defense from Valpo's offense here, seeing if Valpo can score another goal. Just because you're up so much, that is no excuse to let off the gas here. Going for an aerial is jank, but not quite able to make it.
Yep. I mean, there's always things you can be working on. Whether you're up 7-1 or it's a close game. So maybe focusing on those things. But one of the unique things about the Missouri Valley Conference for esports for the Rocket League division specifically is each team plays each other twice. So we will see this team again about midway through the season. So it's going to be really interesting to kind of track and see how this game goes and how both teams are able to evolve, adapt, and get better because, we'll have this game on tape now. And Indiana State, will have 10 or so games under their belt by that time. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. But Valpo able to hit that 8-goal mark again, but this time 8-1. We got 12 seconds left, so could theoretically score another goal, but definitely going to do it for game 2.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, love to see that here. Yeah, and that is actually really interesting that how the Missouri Conference works, playing each team twice.
Yeah, and it's not for every game, but for Rocket League, they are getting to play every team twice. So I think. That's what they do for basketball, some other sports.
Buzzer beater goal from Oblivex, able to actually bring the record up to 9-1 here with the actual buzzer beater with the timer at 0, finding that goal.
That one felt potentially unnecessary, but we'll take it. So Rocket League now up 2-0 in this best of 5 series. Sorry, as I'm off the screen a bit here. We got to change the score so we don't tab out of the game this time. But yeah, I mean, they are looking really, really good. And Master Seb leading the way with another hat trick. Has had a hat trick every single game this season, which has been 2. Oblivix with 4 goals, averaging a hat trick. And Jank, unfortunately, had 2. Did have a hat trick last match, but falling short with this time. But yeah, I think the thing here is Indiana State has 3 shots in the entirety of this game. And, looking at Valpo, they got 18 shots. So that's really where this score differential is coming from.
Yeah, but we talked about it earlier. The more shots you take, even if you aren't hitting all of them, just the more you have, the more likely they are to go in. We can see that clearly there.
I don't know if this is like an adjacent kind of to soccer because, I am a sports fan, not soccer at all. But I feel like shots is like the most important stat. Outside of like score, but shots are really important and they're like directly indicative of who's winning that game. Obviously, like goals are, scoring goals are, but shots are really important. Like when Valpo gets a lot of shots, like they're winning the game. When they have that dominant offense where they're able to just keep getting opportunities, chances, and find that crack and hole in the defense, they're able to succeed for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And Valpo seeing like they can find that gap quite well here. At least they found some practice with getting an 8-0 and a 9-1. So it looks like they found that hole in the defense. Now the ball is almost literally in Indiana State's court to see if they can find that gap themselves and tighten it up before it is too late, before the game has been lost. But Jank trying to get an early goal. Valpo on this heavy offense.
Yeah, so this is best 5 series, so we are on match point here for Valpo if they're able to keep up the performance that they have been in the first 2 games. Did make a little bit of a map change. I believe this is a new map, but kind of a outdoorsy vibe, foresty feel. I really like it. Although, if I'm a player, I'd be focusing too much on
Yeah.
what's going on around me. But yeah, Valpo, 40 seconds into this one, looking to just keep doing what they've been doing because it's
Absolutely,
been working. Just keep it up.
Absolutely. That stems into the experience that this team has, being able to recognize to not overcomplicate it. If it's working, there's no reason to try to get fancy with it or go anything crazy. If what you are doing is working, might as well keep it up. And we see Master Seb trying to find an opening in this defense, able to find a gap, but no one on Valpo able to follow up, as Jank is up for the aerial, but no boost to try to continue that shot.
Yep, and it's funny that you say that because this team, ever since I've been here for 2 years, has kind of been this same roster. And appreciate the subscriber. Shout out to Archer. Yeah, shout out. Appreciate the support. But this team has always been a fundamental focus. They have never been like this flashy flip reset trick shotting, because there are people who are like super mechanically sound, who can do crazy aerials and all these different like freestylers, but like we have very like fundamental players who know the basics. They know how to play as a team, and it has proven to be very successful. This coaching staff, this roster has been here for a while and has had so much time to train, develop, get better, and it's just it's the right way to play.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's beautiful to watch.
It's showing its effectiveness here with Valpo going up into match point here.
Yeah.
Clearly something's working well, and I absolutely love to see that. Seeing Valpo's team succeed in multitude of ways, I'd love to see that the fundamentals are in focus here and being put on display here as Oblivix goes for another shot and able to make it, and Valpo goes up 2-0 with 3 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, so just approaching halfway through this game, and Valpo up 2-0 right now. I mean, Indiana State has been improving quite well and playing a lot better throughout this set. So Valpo, with that in mind, definitely want to close out the series while they can here in Game 3. But 2-0 lead, just got to keep up the momentum, keep it going. But we do have Oblivix taking up the ball here. It's going to have to get back on defense.
With the nice clear, sending it all the way onto their side. Jank up with the aerial challenge. This is what I want to see. I want to see Valpo keeping up with what has been working, with this offense going absolutely insane of what we've been seeing. And Oblivix right there to go with the passes that we've been raving about so much, with the teamwork off of Jank to passing it to Oblivix with the wall bounce.
And they are playing well today.
Absolutely.
And if you're just joining us now, we do have another game at 7 p.m. versus Bradley University, which, boy, do we have a storied history with them. So we'll get into that a little bit more, but that is going to be a week 1, like very challenging, important opponent. So really excited for that game as well, but, still got to focus on this one. We're up 3 goals, but, Indiana State has been improving. Haven't quite surpassed the level that Valpo's been playing quite yet. But 2 minutes left here. If they want to have a chance in this game, in this series, now's the time where they got to play aggressive, take some chances, some risks, and, make a play on the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been saying that they've been steadily improving. They've shown it, but now is the moneymaker. Is it going to be enough? It's getting down to crunch time here. Gonna have to make some moves, as you were saying. Some risks is gonna have to be made here, and they're making them. Valpo on the back foot now on the defense, but able to get the clear, and right back to offense we go. Oblivix up with the kick up, looking for the rebound, and Master Seb able to find it. Incredible showing. this is incredible momentum heading in, especially with the game after this one. We'll see if they can keep that momentum up.
Yeah, I'm glad that we're starting with this game where we're feeling like we're playing well, in control, and then we're going into a big match. So it's almost kind of like having a scrim right before your game, but they're playing a game right before their game. So, and the nice thing about Rocket League is, they're quick games. They don't feel too taxing. Where like if you have a Smash or a League or Overwatch doubleheader, it can be a lot. So. And Valpo is starting to pull away with this one. We see Indiana State playing aggressive, committing maybe too many people, but they're taking these risks that are necessary to try and win this game. And, in taking those risks, Valpo are able to find the back of the net.
Yeah, absolutely. No, something had to shake up if they wanted to get back into this game. So even if it didn't pay off, something had to change here. And I like to see that adaptation. Even if it's not working out, something had to change. So I like to see that they're willing to make that adaptation.
You got to go for it. So
absolutely, showing that they're willing to make
swinging.
that adaptation is huge.
Yeah.
Up for the rebound, not quite there. Can Master Seb finish it? Not quite. No one able to finish that double tap, but still this pressure going on. Again, the longer this goes, the more beneficial it is for Valpo as this clock ticks down to under 40 seconds here. Valpo almost getting the second shot off of the rebound, but as this clock ticks down to 30 seconds left, Indiana State gonna have to make some big plays here.
Valpo starting to pull away with this game and the series with 5 goals. They have definitely surpassed the amount of remaining time that would be possible to come back from this one. So we'll see if Valpo tries to put one away. Another buzzer beater.
Hey, there's no reason to turn off the gas now, but not quite able to find
it. Oh, they got it!
Never mind! Oblivix able to find another buzzer beater goal. My word, man. Let the clock tick down. He wants us to show us that goal animation here, because as they keep getting buzzer beaters and down it goes, Oblivix does.
He let it drop. That's some respect, some hats off. Do like that little respectful nod. That's one of those things, if you don't play the game, you wouldn't understand. But he's letting it drop instead of trying to keep it up and score again.
Absolutely.
But Valpo able to come away with the 3-0 win, and they were playing lights out. So
absolutely. So now tune in right after this. It should be to see if we can keep this momentum going into this next game, because apparently we've got some history with them.
Yeah,
so I'm excited to hear that.
23-1 score differential there. That is probably the most dominant I've seen this team play. Looking really, really good and heading into this big match. So we will shut down the stream and be back live in about 10, 15 minutes. So make sure you guys tune in that one, because if you guys are big Valpo Rocket League fans, if you're here for this match, you better be here for the next one. So we'll have the same caster crew, and we will be back shortly in about 10, 15 minutes. So we'll catch you guys then.